Right now, all new on the WHAS11 night team. A shooting at a spring break Kids Fest event in Louisville's Victory Park tonight.
So it's time for Metro government to snap out of this days of incompetence that they in and start actually doing something.
Tonight, you'll hear from the upset president of a community group and a neighbor. Plus, it's one of several shootings today. A violent start to the week, continuing from the weekend. And then it's confirmed an EF1 tornado touched down in far eastern Jefferson County Friday night, causing damage. Plus, the historic arraignment of the former president.
Our message is clear and simple. Control yourselves.
Donald Trump arriving in New York late today. The city and the world are waiting for the details of the indictments. Right now on the WHAS11 night team. It has been a violent start to this week right here in Louisville, sending several people to the hospital and leaving a community frustrated about what they say is a lack of action. Hello, everybody. It's our top story in the WHAS11 night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. 4 people were sent to the hospital in 4 separate shootings that started at around 2:15 this afternoon. Metro police say all are expected to survive. One of those victims is a teenage girl. She was shot just before 6 tonight around Victory Park, where a Kids Fest was underway to keep children busy during spring break as JCPS is out all this week long. WHAS11 night team's Tom Lally and photojournalist Ian Hartwitt were there. They're joining us live from U of L Hospital downtown where the girl was taken. Tom, do we know how she's doing tonight?
Yeah, police say she was alert and talking with them on her way to U of L Hospital. And they're expecting her to survive this shooting near Victory Park, what neighbors say could have been prevented.
All this could have been prevented. All they had to do was be here.
As more than 24 rounds fired off on West Kentucky Street, a teen girl was shot and a park full of children hid in fear.
The trauma that they experienced today, that's going to affect them.
More than 20 kids were at Victory Park on the first day of spring break at a Kids Fest, making sure youth had activities to deter violence, put on by California neighborhood leaders like Norman Parker.
This is the actual work of what they're talking about doing.
Parker showed me texts he sent to LMPD command staff requesting an officer be at their event. He didn't get a response or a police presence until a teen was shot.
When they get here, they treat us as if we're the ones that was doing the shooting.
They come at when there's a body. They don't come to stop the body from happening. One police could have stopped that.
Still, organizers will continue their events here at Victory Park through the rest of the week because they say it's a part of solving community violence.
There's a way to stop all of this. And that's by giving these young people the opportunity, places and things that they can do where they're safe at. This is what we called ourselves doing, creating a safe atmosphere where they can eat, play games, play with each other under the supervision of adults.
In response, LMPD told us a police presence requires a permit and, quote, the only planned permitted event at Victory Park is a block party at the end of the month. They said to keep in mind LMPD cannot simply provide security at all events in the metro. They also said they are 288 officers short, and they strongly encourage event organizers to work through the permit process and seek security from private security companies. Michael Ballard, one of the men you heard from there, was a prominent voice in the mayor's anti-violence summits, and he places blame for this on the mayor and what he called a lack of proactive policing. I reached out to the mayor's office for comment tonight, but as of this newscast, have not heard back. Live in Louisville, Tom Lally, WHAS 11 on your side.
Tom, thank you. Tonight, a Russell neighborhood gas station is mourning the loss of a well-known employee as police work to find the person who shot and killed her. Teresa Thomas was shot and killed at the Platinum Food Mart at 10th and Broadway last night. This station sits right across from TARC headquarters. The manager tells us Thomas was an employee but was off the clock at the time. He says the mother of 2 was there to pick up a few items when a fight broke out. The manager says a man walked inside the store, became aggressive with another woman in line, and demanded that she take off her clothes. That's when Thomas and others tried to break up the fight. But he says when the man hit the customer with the back of his gun, it fired in Thomas's direction and she died at the scene. That was the second deadly shooting LMPD officers were called to over the weekend. On Saturday, officers responded to a shooting outside of the KFC on West Broadway. A 19-year-old died at the scene here, identified by the coroner's office as Martell Hall Jr. Police are asking anyone with information to call them at 574-LMPD or leave an anonymous tip on their online portal. According to data from LMPD, homicide detectives are investigating 38 homicides so far this year. This time last year, there were 45 homicides. That is a more than 15% decrease. Louisville Metro Police have made an arrest in a deadly downtown hit and run that happened back in January. Officers arrested 19-year-old Angelo Collier following a chase today. Police say Collier was driving a stolen Dodge Challenger when he hit and killed Vinnie Jackaway at 3rd and Jefferson on January 15th. The department shared this surveillance video a few days after the crash. Investigators say tips from the community helped them find their suspect. Collier is charged with manslaughter in addition to fleeing and evading and assault for the chase today. In Seymour, Indiana, police have arrested a man for a hit and run that killed a father and injured his daughter. It happened on March 24th on South Vine Street in Seymour. 73-year-old Charles Lehman was killed and his 33-year-old daughter was hurt. In a post on Facebook, police say over the last couple of days they received information about a suspect, 28-year-old Trey Xavier Vyers from Columbus, Indiana. He was arrested this afternoon and faces several charges, including leaving the scene of a crash. Former President Donald Trump landing in New York City late this afternoon ahead of his expected arraignment tomorrow afternoon. Supporters and critics both lining the streets outside of Trump Tower. Sources say Donald Trump is facing more than 24 charges stemming from the hush money payments to a porn star during his 2026 campaign. He has denied any wrongdoing. ABC's Em Nguyen reports from New York City, where police have stepped up security.
Tonight, on the eve of his court appearance, former President Donald Trump waving as he arrived in New York, where he's expected to turn himself into authorities to face criminal charges. His son Eric and wife Melania accompanying him into Trump Tower. Trump left Mar-a-Lago earlier today in a motorcade, with supporters lining the route to cheer. Sources say Trump is facing about 24 criminal counts stemming from hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels, weeks before the 2016 presidential election, allegedly falsifying business records claiming those payments to be ordinary legal expenses. Trump's lawyer acknowledging the historic nature of this indictment.
This is unprecedented. I don't know. I've done a million arraignments in that courthouse with celebrities and whatnot, but this is a whole different thing. We have Secret Service involved.
We're told when Trump arrives at the courthouse, he'll be processed and booked, possibly taking a mugshot before heading to his arraignment on the 15th floor, where no other court proceedings are scheduled. His attorney says he'll plead not guilty. Trump again verbally attacking Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who is heading this case, as well as the presiding judge, whom he called a Trump-hating judge. A move some say is legally risky and something his lawyer disagrees with.
No, I don't believe the judge is biased. I mean, the president's entitled to his own opinion.
While the NYPD is on high alert for any potential unrest, President Biden is breaking his silence on Trump's indictment.
You're going.
No, I have faith in the New York Police Department. Yes.
Late tonight, the judge decided there will not be any video cameras in the courtroom, but will allow 5 still photographers to take pictures before the arraignment starts. Not long after the arraignment, the former president is expected to return to Florida to deliver remarks at Mar-a-Lago. Em Nguyen, ABC News, New York.
ABC News will have extensive live coverage surrounding the arraignment throughout the day tomorrow. Coverage is expected to begin around noon. You'll be able to watch it all right here on WHAS11. And then we will have local reaction to what's revealed in court later, starting on WHAS11 News at 4 tomorrow afternoon. New information coming out of Nashville, Tennessee tonight. Police have released new details about the shooting at the private Christian school that took the lives of 3 children and 3 staff members. In an update this afternoon, police said the shooter, Audrey Hale, fired a total of 152 rounds from the time that she shot into the school doors to the time police shot and killed Hale. Police also say, based on writings found in Hale's car and home, Hale had been planning the school shooting at the Covenant School for months. Nashville police and the FBI are still reviewing those writings. In his first public appearance since the shooting today, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee announced new funding for school security. It would help hire armed guards, create a grant fund, and help fund mental health resources.
These are
thoughtful, practical solutions that will enhance the safety of students and teachers immediately. But our conversations will continue, and we all agree that there is a serious conversation needed about school safety. It must begin with the recognition that we cannot control evil, but we can do something.
One thing the governor didn't directly address, gun control. This morning, students of all ages walked out of their classrooms and headed to the Capitol in Nashville to protest for more gun control. Students carried signs and read a list of the names of those killed in the school shooting. After another round of testing over the last 24 hours, and Louisville Emergency Management says no methanol is detected around the McAlpin Dam on the Ohio River. The city says both the water and the air samples have showed no detectable presence of the chemical. And they have been testing since 10 barges got loosed on the Ohio River last Tuesday. 3 became stuck at the dam, which is located on the southern Indiana side of the Ohio River across from downtown Louisville. One of those barges is carrying 1,400 tons of methanol. As of this afternoon, 2 barges are still settled against the dam. The one with methanol and another is carrying corn. They've set up a website, by the way, where they are posting regular updates. Just visit mcalpininfo.com for the latest information.